Hey guys, Ancap24 coming back with another play of the single back wing formation. And we're going to be looking at the play called tight end attack, and I really do love this play. It's a lot of easy reads, it beats all coverages, and it's going to be something that can really give you a nice advantage to give some people some headaches. So let's go take a look at it. First thing I want to note, it can be done on either side. It can be done on the right hash, left hash, and keep the play stock. So it doesn't matter where you are, you don't have to flip it. If you're on the left hash, it works both ways. Real simple setup. All you're going to do is move this X receiver in like we did on the last play with the PA boot left, and we're going to put him on a drag. Then we're going to take this B receiver and we're going to put him on a comeback, okay? That's going to be your setup, but the way these routes work, it's going to be much a headache for your opponent, okay? So we're going to go against cover 4 quarter flats first, and I want to show you basically what your reads are. The first option you're going to have on this play is when the A does this cut across, you're going to have a nice little soft spot you're going to be able to throw it to him. Unless a player manually goes ahead and covers him, it's going to be a very tough player to go ahead and keep an eye on. It's one of those deals that most people will play that player with the M on his head because he's on the stronger side. They're going to kind of let the left side do their thing, and that's why we're going to be able to throw that pretty easily. The second option when it comes to the quarter flats on cover 4 is going to be this comeback route. This X is going to be able to get under. If you want to throw it to him really quickly, you can, and you can get some nice easy yards, so you definitely can see that. But typically on cover 4, I'm going to be waiting for this comeback route to go ahead and do his ability to get the high-low read when it comes to cover 4. So when the X goes underneath, they go ahead and jump that. You're going to see that you're going to be able to throw this ball right there. So you can have all 3 of those options pretty easily against cover 4. Now, additionally speaking, against cover 4, you're going to be able to also fit this RB receiver in a nice little spot that's a weak spot in cover 4. The way it works that's really nice is because the B does a good job of getting outside release and then up the field. He's going to drive that one strong safety back, and you're going to be able to throw it to a slower tight end in this little spot. So watch how you work it here. RB goes across, and now you're going to be able to kind of fit that ball right there. A nice easy catch. Now typically speaking, a user does not follow him down the field, especially when you have all these underneath routes and all this stuff. You kind of mix this in, and it's going to be a nice option for you to throw that in that little spot. Now it does get a little bit more open on the left hand side than it does on the right, but I just want to make sure where you see it on that. So that's how you go against the cover 4 quarter flats. Now let's go ahead and show you against the cloud flats, my bad. And what you can do is move this guy over, and you're going to see that this X is going to be a much better option for you when it comes to the cloud flats, because he's going to drive back. He's going to go back. You're going to throw it to this X receiver, and you're going to get some really good yardage. Now I'm showing you this on the short side of the field just because it's going to be something that you can see, but you can see if I was to do this on the wide side of the field, it's going to be actually more open when it comes to this drag because of the player is going to get driven back a lot further. And I just want to make sure you see, kind of what you're going to see when you see it in the game. Everybody's going to get driven back a little bit further, and you're going to see that you're going to have that nice, easy read to throw to against cover 4 cloud flats, right? I'll just go back to this side because this is what we're starting on. And let's go ahead and look at your other options against the cloud flats. And let's see here. You're still going to have the option to go ahead and throw it to this post route. As soon as he goes across, you're going to see that you can fit it in this tiny little spot right there. It's going to be a tight squeeze. It's a tight squeeze against cover 3 as well, but it is there. What I mean by that is if you really see that a user's not playing it, or he's playing it in a lackadaisical type of setting, you can definitely throw it in there. And then additionally, you're going to be able to throw it to this RB receiver right in that little soft spot again, where you're going to be able to throw that ball in that spot. So you definitely want to read your users. If the user is going to be playing that deeper tight end, you want to kind of throw it to that post. If they're playing the shorter tight end, they can be able to fit it in that one spot, but always have this drag and B as some fail-safe routes. Now the B doesn't really get open against much more than the quarter flats and man coverage, but it definitely gives you an opportunity to kind of go ahead and see it against others. So that's against all your cover 4s. So let's go ahead and look at cover 3, and you'll see that you're going to have the same type success with these routes. The X is going to be your main throw on cover 3 because it's going to be open. It's going to be just one of those routes that as everybody gets driven back, you're going to be able to throw it to him and get some nice easy yards. It's definitely more open on the left-hand side than it is on the right, but you can definitely get yourself 5 to 10 yards pretty easily. Now, also with cover 3, what you'll see is you still have the ability to fit it in just the way you did with the cover 4s with the A and the RB. And typically speaking, the only play I'm not really going to unless it's cover 3 hard flat flats is the B receiver. Now the A is going to be a tight squeeze, but you can see that you're going to be able to throw it to him right there in that little pocket. You are throwing it into that cornerback, so you kind of want to have somebody with a little bit of catch and traffic just to make sure that you get the yards that you deserve. Just because you are throwing it in there, try to get that possession catch if you can. That's going to be your best bet to hold on to it. And then also with the cover 3, curl flats, you're going to see that you're also going to have the ability to throw it to this RB receiver, in that little hole. So here's the A. You're going to come across right there. You're going to be able to throw that ball in that little hole. And again, if you possession catch it, it's going to be better for you. Now, definitely get into practice mode. Make sure that you go ahead and time that throw. Obviously, it's a tight squeeze, but those are there. And typically speaking, the reason why I'm showing it to you is even though it's going to be my second or third read, I want the X to be my first read because it's going to be a nice, easy throw. If they jump that, those RB and A are going to be a lot more open. It's because they're vacating their spots. They're not getting their depth. If they're getting their depth like they're supposed to, the X is going to be the easy read. But if they want to play low on that X because you've torched them a couple times and they jump it, then you're going to be able to throw it to that RB receiver. I just want to make sure that you kind of understand why we go with what we do when we do that, right? So that's basically how it beats the cover 3 curl flats. Let's go ahead and look at doing the overtop coverage here, and let's go ahead and show you with the cloud flats. And again, you're going to see that the X is going to be your first read. It's going to be underneath, throw it to him, get yourself a good 10 yards, right? Just quickly throw it to him. It's going to force them to have to play down. And when you force them to have to play down, that's when you're going to have that ability to really get those other routes to develop. So that's kind of why we play this nickel dime game, and then we kind of torch them. So here it is. We're going to show you that little tight squeeze to that A receiver. As soon as he goes across, we're going to be able to throw it to him right there. Again, throwing it into that that one player, but you can definitely see that we're going to have that spot and use it to our advantage. And then lastly is going to be that RB receiver. And you'll see again, it's going to be a tight squeeze. Definitely if you don't feel that you've got that accuracy here, don't throw it to there, but you can see that one's a little bit easier. I kind of pass it up a little bit, but you can see that you're going to have a nice opportunity to hit the cover 3 right in that seam when you attack it. So that's how that works against cover 3. Let's go ahead and look at cover 2. Now cover 2 is kind of my favorite out of them all, and it's because man activates, okay? If I showed you a couple on this formation, this X receiver, because he's all by himself and there's no threats to the left side of the field, they're going to cover this X to the right side, which is going to give you a nice opportunity, if you can wait on it, to throw it to this A receiver on the left side of the field, pretty open for a 15 to 20 yard gain. Now, what's also nice about it is if they want to cover that player, typically speaking, your RB is going to be a nice option for you too, depending on how many zones they put in on the cover 2. Like in this, for instance, you're going to see you got a vertical hook, a mid-read, vertical hook. So if they stick with all 3, then that vertical hook will go ahead and play that RB a little bit more. If they only have 2, like on a nickel 2 blitz or a lot of your cover 2s out of dollar, which you probably aren't going to do dollar and double tight, but for the most part, they can get away with nickel. And you're going to have that opportunity to also hit that player as well. Or if a manual player from a user standpoint wants to take that player out, then you can definitely go ahead and attack that as well. But let me show you what I mean by the man activation and how this A works, okay? So the X goes underneath. See how that guy covers him? Now you're just going to wait, and you're going to be able to throw it to this player pretty easily over there, okay? I'm going against McCourty, one of the better safeties, and he's going to jump pretty quickly. But you're going to see that with your ability to buy some time here, you're going to be able to hit this pretty easily on the left-hand side. So this is on the right hash mark. I'll go ahead and show it to you in the left hash mark after this example. I want to show it to you again here. X goes down. You're going to see that I'm just going to kind of buy my time. Now, as soon as he goes to the left, I'm going to be able to throw it to him right over there and have a nice, easy catch. Now, you see it on the left hash mark, you're going to be able to do kind of the same thing and still be able to gain that man activation, and you're going to be able to go ahead and still be able to get that one safety to go ahead and make sure that he goes back, right? So here we go. X goes underneath, A goes across. We're going to throw it to him on the left-hand side. You can see that I feel like it's a little bit better on the left hash because that one player doesn't have to widen out as much and be able to throw it to him. So you can see that this works both sides, but cover 2 is a really nice coverage to be able to throw it to. Typically speaking, that's who I'm throwing it to. You will be able to also hit this drag because if you know that's cover 2, they're going to play this as man to coverage, so you're going to have that advantage that you're going to be in front of that player, so you don't have to worry too much about that. And with this B route, you're going to be able to drive him off a little bit. So X goes underneath, you kind of throw it to him real quickly and get yourself a little bit of yards, and that's really your hot route in case anybody's blitzing, right? So that's really what we like to do against cover 2. It's just one of those that because of the versatility of it, you're going to be able to throw it to this X when it's a blitzing type standpoint, and then you're going to be able to throw it to this A when you've got the time. So here it goes, blitz comes, we can go ahead and throw it to X, so you don't have to throw it right away just to get the 5 yards. You can kind of read your defense, read your block shedding in your O-line, and kind of work it that way. Lastly, let's go ahead and look at man coverage, and you'll see that your options are basically going to be very similar. The X is going to be your main threat, and then your B will be your second threat. That's kind of the way I look at it. Look at the X. Does he go underneath? Do I have enough time? Yeah, I'm going to throw it to X, and I'm going to get myself some good yards, right? So that's my real threat. If somebody tries to jump that, or for some reason you don't get the opportunity to get that play in when it comes to man, my second option is going to be this B. You're just going to have to time it on his break. So say the X isn't open for some reason, you can go ahead and throw it to this B route. And if you have a good matchup, or if you throw it in precision, you're going to be able to get that as well for man coverage, guys. So great play, something you can throw underneath, think and dunk. You can hit either one of those tight ends, and then you can also do a really good job of beating cover 2 with that man activation. So love this play. Make sure you incorporate it right away. Great 2 tight setup that, you know, if you want to make sure that if you want to play small ball where you kind of pound it out and not have a whole lot of wide receivers out there, this is a great formation to use that in, and love this play, guys. Come back with some more. Thank you.